issue too about how we need to collaborate more kind of in co-op style.
Okay, Katrina, we're set on this end if you're ready.
Okay, it seems to sound better now, so.
Okay, great. Okay, it is 6:04. Let's call the meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I borrow a pen?
Certainly.
I have mine sitting on the kitchen counter.
Item C, any adjustments to the agenda?
Have none?
Okay, great. Item E, communications correspondence.
Yes, 2 items. I'm just sound checking one more time that you can hear me okay, Kelly?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So the first is Christy Weber is a resource room teacher at EEMS, and she will be departing that position, but lucky for us, she will be staying with us and moving to a 6th grade classroom. We have a resignation of William Fern, a science teacher from Ellsworth High School, so we wish him all the best in his future endeavors, and that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Item F, administrator and board member reports. Building administrative reports, Amy?
So I'll be doing Dan Clifford's report first for him, who's not able to be here this evening. He has 3 big announcements he wanted to make this evening. The first, he'd like to announce the class of 2022's valedictorian, which is Alicia Havey. Alicia has earned a grade point average of 100.889 over her 4 years at Ellsworth High School. She has been a quiet leader throughout her high school career and always leads by example. Alicia has taken 18 honors and/or concurrent enrollment and/or AP classes. Some activities she has been involved in during her time at EHS include soccer, basketball, softball, math team, Rachel's Challenge, class officer, and cribbage champion. She beat Mr. Linders, he said. Honors and awards include National Honor Society, National Science Honor Society, Bosch and Loam Honorary Science Award, Excellence in Academics Exploration in Science Award, and Dedication to Excellence in English. She's received highest honors every quarter throughout her career and will earn her honors diploma. She also holds a part-time job at Pat's Pizza. Alicia is attending the University of Maine for engineering next year. Congratulations go to her. She was not able to be here. I believe she's playing in a softball game this evening.
Wow, well done.
So congratulations to Alicia. Next, Naomi is here, if she'd like to join me. Naomi Burmeister is the class of 2022 salutatorian. She has earned a grade point average of 100.609 over her 4 years at Ellsworth High School. She has taken 20 honors, concurrent enrollment, and/or early college classes during her career. Activities include student council, class officer, International Thespian Society, Spanish Club, French Club, GSDA vice president, the musicals, show choir, one-act play, 2-time all-festival cast winner, and has participated in all musicals. Honors and awards include National Honor Society, Rachel's Challenge Student of the Month, EHS Student of the Month, UVM Citizen Scholar Award, Susan B. Anthony and Frederick Douglass Award, French GPA Award, and History Award. Good Lord. She will earn her honors diploma. She also works part-time at Flexit. Noe plans to study journalism but hasn't decided where to attend yet. Congratulations.
Wow.
Very impressive. Finally, Mr. Clifford received a letter from the Lincoln Memorial Centennial Committee out of Washington, D.C. on Tuesday afternoon. The committee has chosen the Ellsworth High School Band to represent the state of Maine and attend the 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Lincoln Memorial. One band from every state in the country was chosen, and our band will represent our state at the celebration.
Wow.
This historic commemoration will take place on Saturday, November 12th, 2022, in Washington, D.C. Mr. Clifford would like to congratulate Mr. Calandro and all of the band members. This will be a memorable experience for all involved, and of course, we're all very proud of them. Finally, he wanted me to say that due to a variety of conflicts, the 1-ACT students will come to the next board meeting in June to be honored for their work. So he wanted to make sure that you knew that they were coming just in a month. And that's Mr. Clifford's report.
It's a good report.
I know. Okay, shift, HCTC. So for my report, I have a lot. I could have probably done pages and pages, but we'll focus on some of the big tickets. On Tuesday, May 10th, our hospitality and media students, with the contributions of our MELMAC grant, were able to attend Husson Live, which was something that Husson put on this year where students could participate in their choice of hands-on educational workshops, including things from graphic design, esports, marketing, communications, photography, hospitality and tourism, video film production, etc. They also got to eat lunch in the dining center and attend a closing event at Gracie Theater. Of course, the MELMAC grant is the grant we have received that gives us opportunities to get kids on college campuses. Next Thursday is our Caterpillar Clubhouse preschool graduation event. It will be held outside for our 11 little ones and their families. We're excited to celebrate these students, and we want to put another plug that we are currently open for registration for families who might want to register their 3- and 4-year-olds for preschool. Our preschool runs from October to May, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 8:15 to 10:15 each of those mornings. So if you're interested in registering for the fall, you can contact Megan Stubbs at HCTC. A reminder, we are fundraising for our Skills USA trip to Atlanta, Georgia for nationals. We had our spaghetti dinner. It's still going on currently, which is where Mr. Wood is. And for anyone interested, our Boggy Brook 5K is Sunday, and we are still going to be open that morning for registrations. If you decide you'd like to walk or run the 5K, you're welcome to join us at 9 a.m., and then we will be providing brunch after. Our annual awards evening and NTHS induction ceremony will be held Tuesday, May 31st at Ellsworth High School. You'll receive your formal invitations. That event's at 6:30 p.m. It's when we invite families of students that will be honored that night, either by being inducted into NTHS, or they're receiving a CTE award, or they're receiving one of the scholarships that we give out. Really excited to announce that Sarah Petroulis, our biomedical instructor, has been selected to be a JAX affiliate. What this means is that she will have access to the Jackson Live Library and can go to journal clubs, which will help keep her abreast of new developments in science, having access to their library. She's also been asked to mentor the resident assistants this summer for their student summer program, so she'll be in charge of the resident assistants, which is a great way for her to make further connections into Jackson Lab in different areas. Our seniors will also be attending animal handling training on May 24th, which we haven't been able to do the last couple of years, so we're really excited about that. Also excited to announce that for the first time, our students are in the hospital interning. We finally worked on an agreement with Carol Silsby. Many thanks to her and Michelle Cody for finalizing that, and we have students now getting some of their clinical hours at Northern Light Hospital, which is very exciting. And next month, I will talk to you about how some have already been hired to work there. I want to thank Michelle Cody for her leadership in 2 areas. First, in the National Technical Honor Society, she's our advisor. They have done a ton of community service this year to give back to the greater Ellsworth community. She collected donations with her students in April for the Emmaus Center, items like underwear, paper towels, and cleaning products, which was the drive they did for a 30-day challenge. In addition, they're helping at the community closet in a couple of weeks, and she's always there setting those things up and making sure that students that are in NTHS are fulfilling their community service, which is one of the core components of that program. She's also become actively involved in the Yellow Tulip Project. She is in great hopes to expand that into HCTC next year, so she's been attending their meetings. And she has a couple of students that will be speaking at the Hope Day this weekend, so we're very proud of her for that. And of course, the Yellow Tulip Project mission is to help smash the stigma of mental illness. Last but not least, I did attach for you the enrollment figures for the fall so that you could see a breakdown by program, and I'll run those down for everyone. I have them broken down by program and by school. So currently, we have 50 students that will attend in the fall from Bucksport High School, 21 from Deer Isle Stonington, which that's a really good number, 56 from Sumner Memorial High School, 1 from Blue Hill Harbor, 17 from George Stevens Academy, 46 from MDI, 112 from Ellsworth High School, and 6 that attend either Connections Academy or are homeschool students, for a total of 309 for the fall. In terms of program enrollment, if you'd like me to go through each program, I can. But to talk a little bit about trends, what I think is interesting is people are like, oh, that number's so high, but we're still not close to full. We could take a lot more students. So although our trend has continued to go up, we still have a lot of programs with openings. Health occupations is at its highest enrollment. Biomed is at its highest enrollment. Culinary Arts is at its highest enrollment. I'm really excited that hospitality, Tara Mason's worked really hard to build that program, and she has her largest incoming class at 15 for the fall. So that is very good. We're really excited about that. All of our programs for year 1 are in double digits, including cybersecurity, which is at 11. So that's a really, really good trend. About half of our programs for the afternoon are at about half to 3/4 capacity. As you know, you always lose some seniors that take year 1, their junior year or their senior year, and they can't come back. So you lose kids that way. And then you have some kids change their minds and decide that that career pathway is not for them, but at least it hasn't cost them money and college tuition at that time. And then you always lose some students because they've fallen behind at their high school, and even with out-of-the-box thinking, there's really no way to salvage. So we're really excited that our numbers are that high. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I don't have any. Those are great reports.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
you.
Can we just give a round of applause to our valedictorian and salutatorian, please? Very well done. Wow.
Thank you.
I don't know when you sleep.
I don't.
Made me tired just listening to them.
Yeah.
You're about ready to retire. I've had a good run. Yeah.
Hi, Katrina.
How are you there, Annie?
Good.
Excellent.
Oh, I was rude. I didn't say hi to her.
You're literally looking over my shoulder.
I can just see the corner of your page from here.
Yeah.
Page and the microphone and your pinky.
Right.
It's a great pinky.
Oh, thanks. I'm so proud of my pinky. It's, as I always start, I'm so blessed to be the Director of Adult Ed here in Ellsworth. I couldn't love my job anymore. And we've already talked about Hope Day a couple of times. Really excited to have our second annual Hope Day on Saturday, 11 o'clock at Knowlton School. I'm really committed to this work of smashing the stigma of mental illness. Because of course we all talk about if somebody has a broken leg, it's the first thing you ask, how can I help you? What do you need? And the yellow tulip isn't about solving the problem, it's about starting the conversation. So this year, an additional piece to our program is that we've expanded the number of information booths to find out about resources. So right there, you'll be able to see that. And I'm not sure who ordered it, but we're going to have a fabulous day again this year. Maybe that's a good omen for hope for the future. And it should be a really fun day. And thank you to HCTC for making beautiful yellow tulip cupcakes, and to EHS for providing the show choir and jazz band performances. And we actually have 7 youth sharing their stories as part of the session. So we're very, very excited about that. So our graduation and recognition evening, well, afternoon and evening, is set for Monday the 13th. And as I write in my report, it's one of the silver linings of the pandemic for us is that I think we'll never move from an individualized graduation. It was a beautiful event last year at Knowlton Park, and so that's what we're planning to do. So far, we have 18 graduates, and we have about 8 more that are finishing their last tests and so on, so you never know. It ain't over till it's over. But we're excited about that. We'll have a pinning ceremony for our 4 CNAs. We potentially will have 2 CMAs, and we have 1 behavioral health specialist, and 2 National Honor Society recipients. I just found out, I got a text from a mother, a young man who came from a few years ago from Jamaica, and he got his high school equivalency with us a few years ago, and his mother just texted me to say that her son graduated from UMO with a double major in finance and accounting, graduated with honors last weekend. So we were pretty proud of him for that. Our teacher, Vanessa Richards, is participating in a program called Teaching Skills That Matter. And she was featured. I have a link in the report to a description of that, and she kind of made the front page of that, so there's a little screenshot there of her. And that's I don't know a ton about the program. She's debriefed at staff meetings a little bit, but it's really about making all learning really relevant, and it's a toolkit that makes it really easy to make that happen. Because we individualize with every single one of our students, and so this toolkit is really helpful. We're excited. And she's also on the team that's going to be sort of rolling it out for the whole state. So it's impressive. I promise myself every year I won't have summer offerings, but I couldn't resist because we have so many partners doing great things. So we are going to have some summer classes, so check out our website. And we're doing planning for the fall. So let us know if you have some courses. I've made one change. I'm going to take this off. I'm having trouble breathing. But normally we sort of put all of our courses up at once, but we're not doing that now. We're doing them as they're confirmed. We're making them live. So if you want to check what's happening, I'm also organizing classes for the whole year so that people can see and we can do more work promoting them. So we're getting in planning mode, and it's not too late to ask for some courses. So any questions? Okay. I'll report back next month about our progress on the early childhood micro-credential program, because we've gotten started on that, but I'll let you know more about that next month. Thanks.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Katrina.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rachel Corman Ramos, the Curriculum Director. Right now, our NWEA and science testing is happening as we speak. It's also the state testing. Also, it happens at NWEA as our local testing, so we're very lucky in that way that it chose our local test as the state test. And really, it's in no small part because of the patience, expertise, and dedication of our IT team at the Ellsworth School Department that it goes as smoothly as it does. And I really want to make sure that everyone knows that. Our school district is really lucky and thankful to the IT team and also the guidance counselors at EHS for their persistence and their patience, because there's a lot of organizing and planning to make all of that work as they help teachers and students complete these assessments and make all of that get organized. And we really also want to thank the teachers who understand that the data is important to collect to inform their teaching, and that it really does change their daily schedule, but it also personalizes each child's pathway through the Ellsworth school system. Especially at this time of year when kids get excited when the weather changes and there's a lot of frenetic energy, it's hard when the daily schedule changes because sometimes that keeps kids organized. So it's a difficult time for testing to happen, but I do want to thank teachers for their patience in having this happen, because I think they all know how important it is for us to measure where students are. And it also shows their growth and helps us know where to keep moving forward. And in June, I will share some of the data that we see with all of you so that we can know our path in moving forward and help students have personalized educational goals as we move forward. In our math adoption process and our materials, the teachers have completed their evaluations of the 5 programs, and now we're moving forward to the next phase of the adoption process. Hopefully we'll be meeting with the curriculum subcommittee next week to share the information we've gathered thus far and move on to the next phase there. One thing that was really fun, yesterday I met with Kelly Lunt, the new educator at the Black House in Woodlawn. In the past, their educator has been someone who has a background in social studies and language arts to bring all of the history of the Woodlawn area to our students. And this year, Kelly is an Ellsworth native who went to Ellsworth High School, and she spent many years in Florida where she was a science teacher and actually worked at the Palm Beach Zoo. And she has a unique background in the sciences. And so something that I learned yesterday, I like to learn something new, is that Mr. Black had made a lot of his money in forestry. And so she's actually bringing her science background to bring all the history of forestry and the grounds to our students. So she's really excited about connecting with our students through ecology and the land of the Woodlawn Estate to our students. And so we talked a lot about how she can share the Black House legacy around the forestry and gardening and the outdoor sciences with our students K through 12. And we talked about a lot of the opportunities that we can do through partnerships starting in the fall. So I'm excited for our science teachers and our language arts teachers who in the past have had summer institutes, who have done a lot of lesson planning. I think a lot of our students, I know a lot of our students have gone and had historical game time there. They've had apple pressing, and they're going to continue all of those things, but also she brings a lot of expertise around gardening, around talking about the property there and all the historical background of the Woodlawn property that I think a lot of us didn't know about. So I'm excited for our science teachers to get involved and use some of our grant funding with cross-curricular opportunities. So we had a really great conversation, and I'm really excited for a lot of our teachers to get even more involved than they have been. So it's a very cool opportunities there in our partnership in the community. Another neat opportunity too is that as part of our services to support students who are challenging themselves academically, and in my role as the coordinator for the Gifted and Talented program, I've partnered with Sarah White and Jennifer Smith, who are our Rockstar guidance counselors at EHS, to pay for the books and lab fees of students who are taking summer college courses.
As of today, 24 students have registered to take college classes this summer, which is pretty impressive because when I was in high school, I couldn't wait for that last day of school to be done with school. And this really speaks to the dedication of our students. It speaks to the rigor of our programs at EHS and HCTC and the academic environment that our teachers and leadership have provided for our students at the ESD to inspire them to keep learning, even during their summer break. So we're kind of unrolling some ideas about how the Gifted and Talented program at the high school can offer opportunities and give them ways that it's not so much a class, but it can support opportunities in ways that the students find to reach out to the community and find ways to challenge themselves. Not so much what we offer them, but what they find and how we can help them. And this is one of the ways that we can do that. And a lot of students have been giving us receipts for books that they've purchased and we can reimburse them for. And to know that there's 24 kids who are actively looking to take courses that the state of Maine is offering for free and that we can support them in buying their books is really gratifying. And the guidance counselors reached out to me and said, you know, could we help with this? And I thought it was a great idea. And so since we don't currently have a gifted and talented teacher in that space, we were able to use those funds and be able to help them do that. So it's really quite gratifying that so many students are taking the opportunity to do that. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Rachel.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Kane, do you have a report for us?
I do, and I apologize, I need to circle back under communications. I missed, I believe, one. Deb Richards is retiring. She works at EEMS in Title I. Those of you who might have worked collaboratively with her and Rachel on the selection of new math curriculum would have interacted with her, and she's wonderful, does a great job with our staff there. We're very happy for her, but she's happy to be retiring and headed off to Florida, so best of wishes to her. Okay, so first of all, Teacher Appreciation Week last week. I would like to give a big shout out to all the various organizations, parents, community members, students, everyone who worked collectively and individually to celebrate our wonderful staff at our schools. It was amazing just to see all the different things that were done throughout the week. I know it was greatly appreciated. The timing was perfect, and we certainly appreciate them all year long, but it's just a great week to come together and really lift everybody's spirits, and some sunnier weather came our way right afterwards and some warmer temperatures, and it was really appreciated. And we all need to probably do lots of steps for the next few weeks because I think from what I saw, everybody ate really well. So thank you, everyone, and again, just extending a special thank you and big appreciation to our staff for all that they do. I'd like to thank the leadership team and the teachers, the support staff, central office staff, school board, and especially Carolyn Heller for their work on the budget over these past few months. It certainly has been a very busy and compressed timeline, but it was a very collaborative process, and we believe the end result is a very solid budget that we hope will be accepted. And certainly I enjoyed meeting with the city council on Monday. Lots of really good questions that were asked, and definitely a very collaborative relationship, and I appreciated their time and the time of the administrators who came to offer questions that came up for any deep dives into particular areas of the budget, and also Carolyn Heller for being there and lending lots of additional in-depth information around COVID funding and fund balance, a variety of pieces. That team effort was especially helpful to me as an interim, just getting my arms wrapped around those pieces of your budget this year. And so thank you to all those folks. And also I want to pass on a thank you that was extended from City Manager Mosier, who wanted me to please thank the team and all those folks that played a role in putting that budget together, and mentioned it was obvious the work that they had done. So budgets can be challenging, they always are, and there's it's a challenge for every department to make the best use of the resources that we have, and but anytime we can collaborate in that process, it certainly makes things go much more smoothly. So that is all I have for my report tonight. On a personal note, I am off-site tonight. I'm actually in Washington, D.C. I'll be here for several days with a very large group of families, law enforcement officers, friends of Officer Luke Gross, who was killed in the line of duty last fall. You may recall he was the board chair of the Hancock School Committee. He's greatly missed, and this year his name will be entered on the National Law Enforcement Memorial. And so there are some really wonderful events happening this week, and very, very supportive environment for Luke's family and children that are here. His daughter Alyssa, it's her birthday tonight, so we're having a little surprise celebration for her shortly. And there'll be a candlelight ceremony tomorrow, and then a really lovely full day ceremony that happens on Sunday. Hopefully the rain is going to do its part and stay away for a little bit. So thank you for allowing me to be off site tonight so that I could attend this important event for Luke and his family. So that's all I have for my report.
Thank you, Katrina. We miss you being here, but you are definitely where you need to be tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Katrina. I think everyone in our greater Ellsworth community is grateful that you've gone down to Washington, D.C. for this important ceremony that's taking place, and we all thank you.
item G, committee reports. You want to start with personnel? Paul, would you mind reporting out?
No, not at all. So Personnel has had an initial meeting with the Association of Administrative Assistants and their union rep. And this is the year that we're doing, their contract is going to be up at the end of this school year. So we began the process of collective bargaining to form a new contract, and we met, as I said, one time, and we set the ground rules and set a date for our next meeting, which I believe is the 19th of this month, and looking forward to working with these members. We've worked with them before, and we've got a good relationship. And yeah, that's personnel.
Thank you. And I know finance has
And
met.
then finance. So we've been.
And Matt.
And Matt.
So Tara and I are on the finance committee. Tara, feel free to weigh in, but obviously the big thing we've been working on is the budget, which we will be presenting during this meeting. And as Katrina said, we went to the budget workshop with City Council this past Monday, and we'll be returning to these council chambers next Monday, when the council will take action on whatever it is that we vote on tonight.
Great.
So, and then that will be followed by a referendum in June.
Thank you. And I don't believe policy met this past month.
Mhm.
No. Am I missing anything?
Facilities.
Facilities, I do not believe. Has facilities met, Katrina? I don't think.
Facilities has not met, but we will be meeting shortly. You'll be hearing from the facilities director asking us to get together and look at projects as soon as the budget is approved so that we can move forward with items that are in the budget.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. All right, item H, old business.
I have none.
Okay. Item I, public participation. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to J, new business. Presentation and consideration of FY23 budget.
Bye, ladies.
Okay, so I'm going to follow a similar format as we used on Monday, albeit without quite the length and the amount of detail. I know it's been covered quite a bit. I appreciate the Ellsworth American, of course, having a local newspaper and helping get that word out to citizens is fantastic. So we'll highlight several of the pieces again as I work down through that cover sheet with the expenses and revenues. And I'll just note right off the top as we spoke at our meeting on Monday, we inadvertently left an administrator out of the budget at some point in between version 1 and version 4, and so it really isn't that we don't like Mr. Clifford, it just error or something. We're sorry, it wasn't intentional. And we also did, in a chance to check through, we found a teaching position for an individual that had retired, and when we're making those changes in staffing, the position itself dropped out of the budget and did not get pulled forward in version 4, so we made that correction as well. So, so essentially, let me do as I did last time and sort of start with that very bottom line there. So when you looked at the budget on Monday, when we talked about those changes that we would need to make, I believe the budget was a 0.63% increase in local appropriation, or $72,000, and with the adjustments that were made, the final revised budget that you have is a 1.36% increase with a total of $155,135.31 for the local appropriation. So let's talk a little bit about how we got there and what are some of the bigger pieces and moving parts of this budget this year. We, as I mentioned on Monday, we want to do the best that we can to move forward and continue to grow, especially as there are better and emerging ways to support our learners, all learners. And one piece that we're excited to move forward with next year that has an impact in regular instruction is the addition of 2 additional ed techs. They are regular education ed techs, ed tech 3s, so they're not special education techs. They'll be, these positions will support students in K through 8 who are not special education, but maybe need additional supports. They won't be tagged to one particular student necessarily, but they're available to help a student as needed. Students go through a variety of things, throughout the year, and if we have some folks who can support them at times, whether they need to just come out and have a break, which means they get the support that they need, and the kids in the classroom can continue learning. We feel like this is a win-win all around, and April Clifford and Travis Wood have done their homework on this and looked at a few other schools in the state that have implemented this with some really good success and great ways to support students, get them right back on track. And so we think this is a win-win all the way around for everyone. So that's in regular instruction. And so the increases there otherwise are just your changes to salary, benefits, health insurance. Let's see, they're in special education, some additional ed techs there. And in career and technical education, really the change is supplies. It's simply, the welding program, the cost of materials that they're purchasing. Pretty much every department is experiencing that. So those are the changes there. And then, of course, you'll see the corrections were made to school administration, where we had a decrease there, and so that change is listed. In facilities, we do have some larger projects excuse me, that we need to move forward. One of which I would say one major piece is the bleachers in the high school gymnasium. We did one side last year, and we need to do the other side this year. They just don't open properly. They're breaking. They're older. We have some other facilities projects that we'll be moving forward with that were approved and planned with COVID funding. So you'll see things such as the high school has, I think it's 26 windows between the second and third floors that do not open anymore. So we will be replacing those, for example, throughout the summer. And then we also have, sorry, I just lost my place. And my train of thought, both, which in combination is never a good thing. But I did not lose my sense of humor. Also in facilities, we have, I need to address the next stage of the roof. I did misspeak on Monday. I do apologize. I was asked if the portion of the roof right over the library and in that area where it comes together had been finished. I'd had a tour of the high school when we had a lot of rain coming in. We had some leaking in a few places, and I'm sure I just misunderstood. I was wrong. I apologize. That section has not been finished. So that is also in the budget to move forward with I think it's stage 4 of a 6-stage planned roofing upgrade. Let's see. Debt service, just mentioning that we have debt service that is no longer occurring for some buses, so those are paid off, so decrease there. And also for food services, just a reminder that even though the federal waiver where all students were able to eat lunch and breakfast for free ended or will end at the end of June, but the state of Maine has continued that for another year. And so we are, of course, planning on that. That's tremendously helpful for families and students. And it was a really fantastic conversation with the council about thinking ahead, moving forward, what might we do in the future? Are more students eating because there's been free breakfast and free lunch during the pandemic? And is that something that we might consider doing moving forward, even in the absence of COVID funding? So a good discussion there, and many districts do that. Of course, there is a cost, but it's certainly something to keep on the radar. We all know that students who are hungry don't do well sitting through math class and a variety of other pieces. So it's an important start to the day to take care of their well-being. Adult education, taking a look there, that increase is solely in utilities and rent. And so speaking of utilities, in facilities, of that increase there really, as every department in the city and everywhere is experiencing, the increase in energy costs is hitting us big time. We are anticipating $97,000 in increased costs at the high school and $71,000 at EEMS. So $168,000 of that is just the increase in energy costs. And both Carol and Heller and I, we hope that that's enough There are some other factors that played into that she can talk a little bit more in terms of change of vendor, if you would like to review that once again. So those are the biggest changes for us on the expenditure side, and we are fortunate that even with those necessary changes to support our students and our staff in providing the best educational services we can, that we have some revenues assisting us in offsetting those expenses. We have a very healthy increase in state aid this year. Your subsidy allocation just shy of $500,000. So that's certainly fantastic, almost a 10% increase. Tuition steady at the high school, which is great. We're expecting the same amount of tuition students again next year. And so we've just budgeted for the increase in the state tuition rate. And we are, if you take a look at miscellaneous revenues, those are things like special education billing or other revenues that come in from special education. And I've lost the term, Carolyn, sorry, remind me again. State agency client from the SAC grant and things of that nature. There we go. So taken together, we, again, adult education is there, and those are fixed cost increases that, you know, we don't have any control of at the moment, but putting the regular education and food service and the adult education budgets together with those revenues, that brings us to that grand total, which is an increase of 1.36% or just over $155,000. So those are the changes from Monday that we hope that the board will be able to support and that the council will be able to as well. Questions?
No, thank you. We recognize how much work has gone into this. We've seen you in the same clothes, 2 days in a row, and I know it's because you haven't gone home to sleep. So, yeah, it's much appreciated. I know it has not been easy.
It's not been easy, but what has been easy is working with a great group of people who've been really collaborative. And I can't say I've been surprised, but I've been really pleased with the collaboration among the schools and the give and take and the understanding that, there are needs everywhere, and, we're all playing on the same team. We're the largest part of the city's, budget, but we're part of the city, and every department has a role to play. And I think, Paul, you really said it well at the council meeting. There are times where the city needs things, and there may be years where the school can hold off a bit, and moving forward and looking ahead at a 5-year plan and communicating quarterly or in whatever format works. We look forward to that. So I truly appreciate the collaborative effort of everyone I've worked with thus far. It's been really, really pleasant. So
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so we need a motion.
I move that we approve the budget as presented.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you very much, Katrina and Carolyn.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to talking about that again on Monday with the council. I will just say our whole group, our flights back are Monday. We're supposed to arrive in Bangor at 4:50, and I think the meeting is at 6 o'clock, and everything's going to go right on time because all flights do. There will not be any delays. There will not be stranded on an airplane, somewhere over New Hampshire while I'm supposed to be at a meeting, but Carolyn Heller and principals have graciously stepped in, and they'll be there, and that's a great piece about the team. No one person holds the whole, and I know that they are all very knowledgeable, as well as our finance committee member and board member. So I plan to be there, and if the airplane or airline industry has other plans, we'll get through it. So.
We'll deal with that
Yeah.
if it happens, but meanwhile, safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Kelly,
Yes.
I didn't realize it wouldn't have been needed as an adjustment, but the agenda should have had an item on it for the 2022-2023 probationary teachers list.
I was just about to ask about that. Yeah.
Was that in your folder? If you didn't receive that and you want to hold off, we could do that at our workshop the 18th if you're prepared to
It
move
wasn't
forward.
there, but-
I'm happy to make those nominations.
But if you
And
have the-
additionally, for the new staff that we have here, that principals are going to be talking about tonight.
I think if you have 2 teacher nominations and you're prepared to give us background on them, and maybe Mrs. Bowles can also add to that, I would be happy to
Yes.
take action this evening if we're
Yes,
able to.
please.
Thank you. That'd be great. So we're going to try something a little new this time. I've asked each principal to, if they would just prepare, no more than a paragraph, but tell us a little bit about the candidate that I'll be nominating, and just tell us a little bit about that person, their background, and what excited the interview team about this candidate, and why we want them to join our team. So.
Hi. So I'm excited. We have two new instructors that'll be joining us in the fall in 2 of our wonderful programs. First, for Culinary Arts, we recommended to Katrina Camille Frost to be our new culinary instructor. She graduated from the Culinary Institute of America and has actually done some really cool things around the country, and even in Antarctica. She's done things on the West Coast and here. She's done everything from sous chef, pastry chef, to supervisor, cook at Serendib. She has a lot of varied experiences, which will add a lot to the culinary program. She impressed the committee with her commitment to students learning that may learn in different ways, and how to reach all kids. She also has a lot of great ideas. She has already been in twice since we offered her the position, and shadowed Mr. Baker twice. She spent the day, Wednesday, observing our first in-person restaurant. So she's highly committed. She's from the area. She's a mom. Her students attend, I believe, Cave Hill School. So she's really excited, and will bring a great level of enthusiasm to the position. So we're really excited. And then our other instructor that we're nominating tonight is actually here, Alan Smith. We are nominating him for our law enforcement position. He graduated from the Criminal Justice Academy and has this criminal justice degree from the University of Maine. He spent 20 years between Bar Harbor Police Department and Southwest Police Department, both on patrol and as a sergeant. I think what brought him to the forefront for the committee, same thing, talked a lot about meeting the needs of kids, talked very much about students first and putting their needs first. And some of the things that our committee really liked about him was really trying to expand the law enforcement program to not be solely focused on a police officer, but there are so many careers and opportunities for kids in the law enforcement field, which is something we've really gotten feedback from kids that they want. They don't all just want to be police officers. That is the curriculum and is an important part of it. However, there's so many other things to bring to the table. Many people know Alan. He's a longstanding member of the Ellsworth community and is a dad, and had a student graduate from HCTC last year who was one of our first hospitality students. and has been highly involved at Ellsworth High School and HCTC. So the committee was very excited to nominate him for the law enforcement instructor position.
Thank you.
How's that, Mrs. Kane?
That was perfect, very nicely done. So I'm pleased to nominate Camille Frost and Alan Smith for first-year probationary contracts at HCTC.
Motion?
I move to accept the superintendent's nomination of Camille Frost and Alan Smith as first-year probationary teachers at Ellsworth High School, HCTC, sorry.
You got
I
it.
second the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Welcome. Oh, we have one more here? Oh, okay.
So for the people who don't see me very often, I'm Carol Ann McCucker-Murphy, Director of Special Education, and I'm very excited to say that we have a new teacher starting next year, Haley Gommel. She'll be in the middle school, and we're actually lucky enough to have her back because she did her student teaching with Sue Pitherney. She then stayed with us for a couple of years after that in both general education and in special education, and she's taught many, many years in between. But the cool part is that in the last few years, through the pandemic, she's been a teaching principal for island schools out off MDI. And not many people can say the mailboat or the ferry is their commute to work. And Haley has managed that, and she has done that with creating an RTI program, with really stressing hands-on learning for children, and using data to really make those student-driven decisions. So that is Haley. She's coming back here. Her kids are here, and she wants to be closer to home. So I'm very excited to nominate her for Katrina. And she actually would have been here tonight, but I wasn't sure if we were doing this or not. The next person that I have is Nina Bagley. She'll be in Ed Tech 3 at the middle school. She has her bachelor's degree in psychology, which is definitely something we can use in an Ed Tech. She has a wealth of community experience. She's been a case manager in the mental health field, as well as in the field dealing with people who have severe and profound disabilities. So she really has a lot to bring to the table. Her former colleagues have described her as genuine, compassionate, and skilled, and we really, that came through in her interview, very much so. So, Nina Bagley and Haley Gommel, as I look over my shoulder.
Thank you very much, Caroline. And so Nina Bagley as an Ed Tech 3 is informational essentially, but Haley Gommel, I nominate her for her first year probationary contract.
Can I have a motion?
A motion that we accept the nomination.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, wonderful. Do we have any more new hires? Bring them, come, let's go. Are we done for tonight, though?
Yeah, we have, who's doing, presenting for Dan? Amy, are you doing Dan Clifford's nomination?
No, I think we may have to wait for the end of the month, maybe. I don't know. I don't have his stuff for that.
Okay, I have I know enough to be dangerous.
Okay, hit it.
Do it.
Okay, so I know that the team was very excited. We had a science opening. Sometimes science can be, challenging to fill at the high school level. I don't have all of the details here in front of me, but I know that Jillian Baker came and interviewed, and the team was very excited about what they learned from her. She has her master's degree, and she is also already fully certified, and she has been a teacher for 1 year, and they were very excited. So I'd like to nominate Jillian Baker for first year probationary science at EHS.
Have a motion, please?
I move that we accept the superintendent's nomination of Jillian Baker as a first-year probationary science teacher at EHS.
And I second the motion.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Wonderful, thank you.
Okay. And then middle school, Mr. Wood?
He's not here. And I spoke with him earlier, and he thought maybe next month would be better.
Next meeting, yeah.
Or,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, because I had one I thought was ready, but that's
Okay.
fine, we can
Yep.
hang on for that. And so, So with those then, I'll move into the other list. Let me just shuffle to the right page here. So for probationary teacher list, this year we have, so last year, this is a little unique, but we have essentially a group of folks, a large group of folks moving to their first continuing contracts, which is a big milestone. It's always very exciting. And so what's unique is that about half of these people started when the law was that you had to do 3 years of probationary before you moved to a continued contract. And then the law changed, and so the other half have been probationary teachers for only 2 years, and they're moving on to continuing contract. So I'm going to read the list if it's okay, and we will take them as a group unless the board wishes to do so individually.
That sounds good.
Okay, all right, so these are my nominations for continuing contracts. Beverly Brown, Leanna Connors, Megan Curtis, Nicole Donnelly, Gabrielle Holt, Cheryl Keeney, Maren Leach, Holly Libby, Paige Morse, Sarah Palmer, Melissa Richard, Jennifer Smith, Martha Baldwin, Gretchen Blank, Mark Ellsworth, Casey Frederick, Amber Kirby, Mariana Lowell, Tara Mason, Jennifer Trowbridge, Jane White, and Mark Woida.
Wow, that's quite a list. It's great.
List.
It is. Great. All right. Do we have a motion?
I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to extend continuing contracts to the teachers that she just listed.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you.
Excellent, and the next list are teachers who, hats off to them, they've finished their first year of probationary teaching, and during a COVID transition year, that's no small feat, and so they are being nominated to move into their second and final year of probationary status for next year, and these are the names: Janet Bertrand, Austin Borst, Sandra Bukowski, Clyde Cushing, Diane Sear, Michael Ellison, Catherine Hollenbach, Ryan Lowell, Jennifer MacArthur, Natasha Mintz, Sarah Morris, Courtney Pearson, Alex Sherman, Amelia Shipman, Eric Terrell, Christy Weber, and Rhonda Ulickney.
Okay. Thank you.
I move that we accept the superintendent's list.
Okay.
I second that.
Great. Any discussion? All those in favor? Great. Is that
Excellent.
it?
Thank
Okay.
you very much, and congratulations to all those teachers. Those are important milestones, and we're fortunate to have them here filling positions and working with our students. So it's great.
Absolutely.
Yes, congratulations to all of them,
Yes.
and welcome to the two new ones, including Alan, who's here with us tonight.
Absolutely.
Welcome aboard.
Great. Excellent. That's all I have.
Okay, then we will move on to K, calendar and announcements. Our workshop is scheduled for May 24th at 6 o'clock here in council chambers. And our next regular board meeting will be June 9th at 6 o'clock here in council chambers. And that brings us to item L, adjournment.
Having no further business, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?